Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers at a drawing on April 12th, 2023. If you'd like to support my game, Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There's 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, so with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see I have 5 colors on my game card. They're red, orange, green, blue, and purple. These represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage and find out what those numbers were. Okay, so they were the 9, 10, 36, 46, and 52. The Powerball number was the 14, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, so I have those at the top of my list here, the 9, 10, 36, 46, 52. Okay, and now I'm going to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see for this game card, it's for April 10th, and I need to update it to the 12th. But before I do, I need to get the colors for these numbers. Okay, so the 9 was red. The 10 was green, the 36 and 46 were both orange, and the 52 was red. Okay, so the 9 and 52 were both red. The 10 was green, and the 36, 46 were both orange. Okay, so the majority of the numbers were evens, 4-1. And here I keep track of how many colors came up. So it was 3 out of the 5 colors. And I'm going to make this 235 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 3 color combination has now come up 115 times. Okay, so you can see a 3 color combination comes up the most. Okay, and what that means to me is that 2 colors are not coming up the most. Okay, so the strategy here is try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up, and then eliminate those numbers off of the game card. Okay, so you can see that all 5 colors do come up. It's come up 17 times out of 235 drawings. So it comes up, but it's very rare. Okay, in fact, one just came up here, so I'm thinking that one probably won't be coming up for a little while. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all these colors on my game card and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. Here's the red numbers: orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers over to the game card as red numbers. Okay, so I'll start with the 9, 10, 36, 46, 52. The next line down was the 11, the 22, 24, 51, and 60. And the last line is the 3, the 5, the 9 is already taken. So the 42 and the 52 is already taken. So again, I'm going to make these red. And now I'm going to count how many numbers I have on my game card. Okay, so over here I got 3, and 3 are 6, 4 is 10, and 3 are 13. So up here I'm going to put down 13. Up here it tells me of how many of each color I have on my game card. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the orange. And I'm going to transfer these numbers as orange numbers. Okay, so it's 16, 30, 31, 54, and 68. The next line down is the 11, which is taken. So the 19, 21, 29, and the 52 is taken. So the next line is the 4, the 9 is taken, the 24 is taken, the 46 is taken, so the 66. And the last line is the 19, which is taken, so the 26. 36 is taken, so the 43 and 58. So again, I'll make these orange, and I'll count how many I have. So over here I got 5 and 3 are 8, 1's 9, 1's 10, and 3 are 13. Okay, so then I move on to the green area, then the blue, and again whatever's left over. But you can see I already made up this game card, so I'm going to just copy and paste. Okay, so you can see I had 13 red numbers, 13 orange, turned out to be 17 green, 12 blue, and 14 purple numbers. Okay, so why is this important? Okay, it's because I found some consistency within the lottery. Okay, so when I think of the lottery, I think of it just being total chaos, right? Total chaotic, whatever. And the consistency that I found was I get double-digit numbers per color. I'm not sure what that was all about, but anyways, I get double-digit numbers per color, and just about every drawing. Like every 1 in 50, I probably have one go down to a single digit. Okay, so that's the relevance about this. Okay, so that's the important part. So when you have consistency, then things can get predictable. Okay, so I'm going to try to correctly predict what color group will not be coming up. Okay, and how I want to do this is I want to look and I want to try to correctly guess what the majority of the numbers will be. Will they be odd or even numbers? Okay, so looking at this, one thing that I want to point out here is these 3 to 2s. Okay, so you can see 4 to 1 here, 4 to 1. And then I go on a long streak of 3 to 2, 3 to 2, 3 to 2. Okay, 13 long. And I'm thinking that this is going to be 4 to 1. Okay, so if it's 4 to 1, then I need another evens to come up. Okay, so I think the majority of the numbers are going to be evens. So I'm going to look at each color and eliminate the one that has the most odd numbers to it. Okay, so I'll start with the red. How many odd numbers do I have? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 13, that's not great. Okay, so then the orange, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 13, not great again. Okay, and then the green, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 17. That's not too bad. And then the blue, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 12. That's pretty good. And then the last one is purple. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 14. That's 50-50. But the one that stood out to me the most was the blue. Okay, 7 out of 12 numbers were even, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to get rid of the blue numbers. Okay, so when I block out numbers like this means I'm not even going to consider these numbers when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so again, I'm going to block these out. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next strategy, which is called the individual numbers. Okay, so maybe you heard the saying divide and conquer. Okay, so I'm going to look at a different angle and try to pick different numbers to eliminate. Okay, so here's the winning numbers that just came up. It was the 9, 10, 36, 46, 52. And what I did here is I took all 69 numbers and I divided it into 7 different groups. Okay, so here's group number 1, holds the numbers 1 through 9. Of course, this is the only group with 9 numbers where the other 6 have 10 numbers to it. Okay, so this 5 right here, this tells me that it hit 5 out of the 7 groups. Okay, so that means 2 groups did not have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so since there's 7 groups and only 5 white winning Powerball numbers to it, then 2 of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it, right? So a 5 doesn't come up. Oh, it's been coming up kind of often, but doesn't come up all that much compared to like a 4. A 4 comes up the most. Okay, so how this works is here's the 9. I'm going to follow this line until I find the 9 right here. And now I'm going to color this square red. It's red because the 9 is red. Okay, so here the 10, I'm going to color it green because the green is red. Okay, so what I'm going to do is how this works. I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card. It's easier for me to explain. Okay, so I want to point out these 20 numbers here, okay? And these 3 red marks. You know, after these 3 red marks, there's nothing here, okay? So I made this going up, okay? So up here is current. Down here is the way past, okay? So I'm looking at this red mark, and as I was going through my videos and stuff, making my videos, you know, I was about right here or whatever, and I'm saying, hey, I haven't seen a red number in a while. I think one's coming up here pretty soon. And then one came up, and then, you know, now a bunch are coming back up. Okay, so this is how this goes hand in hand with the color code here. Okay, so when I see a group of numbers that hasn't had a certain color in a while, certain color come up in a while, then I'm going to think that it is, and I'll look on my game card to see what I have available for that color in that group. Okay, so this big square right here, these big squares, these are good for 5 drawings, okay? And I made them for 5 so I could count quicker. And what that means is I go back to the 20 numbers here. I was looking at this and I said, okay, how many drawings has it been since a red number came up? And this just makes it easier for me to count, going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You know, there's 33 and 35 drawings. Okay, so it's just quicker that I could count quicker like that. Okay, but since I did divide this into 5 drawings like this, I noticed that the average hits per group is 4, just like this one. Okay, so when I see something that's like average or above average, and right now I have 2 in the average, okay, I got the numbers 1 through 9 have had 4 hits in the last 4 drawings. And then here in the 50s, I have another 4 hits too. So I think I'm going to go with either the 1 or the 9 or the 50s, okay? And I think I'm going to go with the 50s because one of these 50 numbers have come up in the last 5 drawings. And when that happens, you know, it's like a very high percentage, like I would say like in the mid 80s, 80%, that there's probably not going to be a 6 one in a row, okay? So I'm going to eliminate the 50 numbers off of my game card, okay? So let me blow this back up. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of the 50 numbers off of my game card. Okay, so a lot of people out there may be saying, okay, are you saying a 50 number won't come up? Well, that's my guess, okay? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, yeah, can a 50 number come up? Yeah, absolutely it can, okay? But this is where the betting comes in, okay? I'm going to buy a Powerball ticket worth $3 with the Power Play. So in other words, I'm betting $3 that none of these 50 numbers will come up. And if I'm correct with my bet, in my guess, that none of these blocked out numbers will come up, then the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers still have to be left here on my game card as a highlighted number. Okay, so it's going to go back to divide and conquering here. Actually, before I do, you know, I didn't go through the individual numbers to see what color hasn't really come up yet. Okay, so let's do that real quick. Okay, so I see red, green, and purple. I'm missing orange and blue. So here's the blue. Now it's been a while for an orange number. So it's been 5, 10, 15, going on 20-something drawings here. So let's take a look at that. The numbers of 1 through 9. How many orange numbers do I have? I got the 4 that's orange. Okay, and that's the only one. Okay, so If an orange number comes up, then it has to be the 4, right? Okay, so moving on to 10 through 19. I got red, orange, green, blue. Here's the purple, so that's really no big help. And then I have orange, green, blue, purple. I need a red, which is right here. No big help. The 30 numbers, I got red, orange, green, blue. Okay, purple's way down here, so it's been 5, 10, 15, 20. Going on 25 drawings for purple. Okay, so let's take a look at that for the 30s. I got the 34 and the 35. Okay, so I'll keep the 4, the 34 and 35 kind of in the back of my head for right now. Okay, so moving on. See what the 40s have to offer. I got the red, orange. Here's the blue. I need a green. It's been 5, 10, 15, almost 20 drawings. Let's take a look. I got the 47 for the green. Okay, and then the 50s I got rid of, so I don't need to worry about that one. And here for the 60s, I see green, blue, purple. I need red and orange. Here's the red, 5, 10, 15. Nothing too great. Let's see what you have in the 60s. I still got the 60 there. Okay, so again, I'm just going to keep those in the back of my mind for now. Okay, but the overall strategy is to eliminate numbers, and I did that with picking the 50 numbers not to come up. Okay, so the next one I have, the next strategy, is what I call the groups. Okay, so this I call group 4. Simply because I divided all 69 numbers into 4 different color groups. Okay, I also have group 6, group 8, and group 10. Okay, just to give me different angles of things. Okay, so I'm going to update this and give you a visual on how things work. Okay, so the 9 and the 10 both came up. They're both in the red. So I'm going to put 2 here. Again, that represents the 9 and 10. And then the 36 was in orange. The 3646 was in orange. And the 52 was in green. Okay, so there's no winning Powerball numbers in the blue area. Okay, so this is the strategy to try to correctly guess where this 0 is going to pop up. I mean, if I could have correctly guessed that none of these blue numbers were going to come up in the last drawing, I could have gotten rid of all these blue numbers and gave myself a much better chance at winning some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so that's basically how things work. Okay, so I just updated this, and when there's 3 hits in a row, I color this a dark red. And if there's 2 zeros, I color it a lighter blue. Okay, so over here I keep track of how many groups got hit, and there was 3. Okay, and the majority of the numbers are over here to the right side, so I'm going to make this 3 green. If the majority was over here to the left side, I'd keep that 3 red. Okay, so the reason why I do that is, when I see like a bunch of green like right here, I look at this like flipping a coin, a quarter. How many times can it come up heads before it comes up tails? Kind of the same thing here. It's only either red or green. So when I see a bunch of green, I say, well, how long before it comes up all red? Or vice versa. Okay, so I think you understand what I'm trying to say here. So over here, this tells me of how many blue marks I had. I had 1 blue mark. And over here, this tells me how many triple hits I had. Okay, so I had 3 of them. And now this is all updated here. Okay, so this is what I go by. Okay, so I have 7 of these option cards to choose from. Okay, and again, I tried to pick where the 0 is going to be. Okay, but at the end of each of these groups, I have a overview of how they all did. Okay, so here in the orange, there was 4 hits and 3 zeros among the orange areas. Okay, so moving on to something different. This is my Powerball number 2. And the reason why I have this, I also have a Powerball number 3 as well. And this is why I keep track of every 3 drawings like this, is so I could have 3 different angles, you know, just giving me different perspectives. Okay, so for this one, again, the winning Powerball number was the 9 and the 46 were both green. Okay, and then the 10, 36, and 52 were all red. And that's it. Okay, so there's no winning Powerball numbers in the blue or the orange. It hit 2 different color groups, and the majority was to the left side, so I colored that red. Okay, so here I have at least one number at the top, which gives me a kind of a clue on what's going to happen. Okay, so here with this first one, I have no numbers at the top, and you know it's harder to pick. Okay, so Powerball number 3 for this drawing, I'm going to update this one as well. Okay, so it was the 9 and the 52, both in green. Then the 10 was in yellow. 36 was in orange. And the the 46 and 52 and the 9 were all in green. Okay, so that means there's no winning Powerball numbers in the red, green, or purple. Okay, so I hit 3 color groups. And the majority of the numbers are over here to the right side, so I'm going to make this 3 green. Okay, so this one I have 2 numbers at the top, okay? And this is the perspective that I want. You know, I always want at least 2 numbers at the top for one of these, you know? So that's why I have 3. So I always have this advantage, okay? And what is the advantage? The advantage is I get to use some tools now. Okay, so over here, this tells me how many blue marks I have. Like here in the last 3 drawings here, I had 2 blue marks. Okay, and over here, this tells me if I had a triple hit or a triple miss. Okay, and you can see a triple miss doesn't come up all that often, but here I got 2 opportunities. Okay, so maybe one of these are going to have a 0 to it. And a triple hit comes up a lot, so I got the yellow and orange and green. So if I look at this and I say, well, this orange is looking like it's going to have a hit here. Okay, so let's take a look at the orange. So I'm thinking that maybe the 12, 13, 22, 25, 32, 33, 35, 36, 37, 48, and 57 may be coming up. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to update this one as well. Okay, so I got the 9 and 10 both in red. The 36 and 46 are both in green. Oops. And the 52 is in purple. Okay, so there's no winning Powerball numbers in the blue, or the orange, or the yellow. Okay, so I hit 3 color groups. The majority is over here to the right side, so I'm going to keep this 3 green. Okay, so again, I want to make a decision here on what I think is going to happen. Okay, so looking at this, do you see these dark bands here? That hasn't happened for a little while. I'm thinking that's going to happen here. So I think that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be on this side. Okay, so I'm going to look on this side to predict where I think the 0 is going to be. Okay, and you know, you can see that the 000 is here in the blue. One's a little bit closer here in the orange. You know, sometimes they both come up. Sometimes there'll be 2 000s. Okay, so I'm going to pick one. And I think I'm going to go with the orange. Okay, so I'm going to mark it blue. And then the reason why I do that is when I come to update this, I could look at it and say, hey, I picked this orange. None of these numbers came up. Fantastic. Or this one came up and burned me or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the 24 to the 35 off of my game card. Okay, so I'll go with that, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so going back. Okay, so this one's already all updated. And, you know, I'm looking at this. I usually look over here first to see what, you know, the numbers have been doing as far as coming to the right or left side. And I think that this is going to be a red number. Okay, so if it is red, then the majority of the numbers will be on this side. And I'm thinking the 0 is going to be here. So I'm going to get rid of these yellow numbers off of my game card. Okay, so the 3, 4, 8, 9. Get rid of these first. And then the 12, 18, 19, 20, 27. So I'll get rid of those. And then the 46, 69. Okay, so hopefully none of those numbers come up. Okay, so going back. Okay, so this is the overview. I only have 3 option cards. And just kind of looking at things, what I look for is this 0-3. This means that none of those 3 option cards had a winning Powerball number to it. And another thing, you can see that this is bordered. I border it when it flip-flops. Okay, so you can see that this is supposed to be, sorry, 1/2. Okay, and then it flip-flopped to a 2-1. Okay, so it's probably meant to be like that. So okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, so this is 6B. Again, another group 6 here. Okay, so the advantage is there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So I know that one of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it, right? So this is all updated as well. Okay, so I think that this is going to be a green number right here. So I think that majority of the numbers will be on this side. And I'm kind of liking this red over here on how hot things have been over here. I think that this is going to be a 0. I don't believe that any of these red numbers are going to come up. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the, let me mark it first, I guess. Okay, the 1, 11, 16, 18, 30, 31, 34. So I'll get rid of the 1, 11, 16. And then the 38, 39, 54, 59, 65. Okay, so all those numbers are gone. Okay, so you can see I'm getting down here. And again, the whole thing is if I made the correct pick so far and none of these blocked out numbers come up, then again, the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers still have to be left here on my game card as a highlighted number. Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, so first things that catches my eye here is that 000 hasn't come up in a while. And I have an opportunity right here. And I'm looking at this saying, wow, I see a lot of green. I'm thinking the majority of the numbers will be on this side. So I'm going to go with this green. I'll get rid of these green numbers. Okay, it's the 7 to the 33. So I'll get rid of the 7. And then the 39 to the 66. So I'll get rid of the 48, 66. And then the 42, 43, 68, 69. So I'll get rid of the 42, 43, 68. And again, hopefully none of those numbers come up. Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, again, the first thing that catches my eye is all this green over here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be on this side. Kind of liking this orange to have a hit. See what I have left. The 3 to the 29. So I got the 22 here. And then the 41 to the 68. I got the 41 and the 60. Okay, so I'm going to mark this saying I think it's going to be a hit. And I'm going to move on. Okay, so I'm looking, this is the overview. I'm looking for a 03 that hasn't come up in a while. Here one is down here for the orange. Just going to take a look at those real quick. Okay, so I'm going to move on to 10A. Okay, so this is group 10, and this is my best odds, okay, because there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, and there's 10 of these color groups, so I know that 5 of them can't have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, it's my best odds, 50-50, that I'm going to get it correct. And this is all updated, so the thing that I look for here is that a 000 comes up a lot. Now, it didn't come in this last time, but it comes up a lot. So I'm looking at the 000s. I got the orange, green, and purple. And probably one of these are going to come through here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move on to the next one here for now. Again, I got the red, orange, purple, turquoise. Now you can see how these dark blue bands, they kind of double up every once in a while. Or even triple up sometimes. Okay, so over here, the red has the opportunity to do that. The only thing I don't like about it is I think that this number is going to be red. kind of thinking there's going to be a hit here in the blue. So I got the 10, 19, 28. So there's the 10. And then I got the 52, 53, 64, 65. So I got the 10 and the 64 still in play here. Okay, so again, I just want to keep those in the back of my mind, and I'm going to go with this red. I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to get rid of the 6, 7, 37, 45. And then I get rid of the 48, 49, 57, and those are already gone. Okay, so again, I'm getting down here. So moving on. Again, I'm looking for the 000. I have one in the red, blue, orange, turquoise, brown, light blue. Now looking at this right here, I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority will be over here. So I'm going to look over here to pick where I think the 000 is going to be. And I think I'm going to go with the turquoise. Okay, so the 7, 9, 17, 21. So I'll get rid of the 17, 21. And then the 61, 53, 63. So I'll get rid of the 63. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to go to the overview of all three option cards here. And I'm looking for a 03 that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, and I'm also looking for a 03 that has the possibility of doubling up, like right here. Okay, so I got that for the turquoise and the light blue, and for the red over here as well. For some reason, I don't really like any of them. And another thing that's caught my eye is this yellow. I think it's going to do a flip-flop here. So I have a 1, 2. So I think that two out of the three yellow ones will have a miss to it. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to go with this yellow one. And I'll get rid of the 6, 16, 26, and the 11. And the 42, 50, 58. Okay, so there's nothing there. So I'm going to move on to 10B. Again, this is another three option cards here with an overview. And again, I'm looking for that 000. I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, which I believe the majority will be on this side. So I'm kind of liking this blue over here. I think I'll take the blue. So I'll get rid of the 62 to the 68. So I'll get rid of the 62, 64, 67. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so I'm down to 4, 8, 10 numbers. Okay, so the reason why I believe in this game so much is because one time I reduced the numbers down to 10 like this, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers landed within these 10 numbers. Okay, I only got 2 numbers correct that day, but I looked at it and said, hey, I gave myself a much better chance of winning a really good life-changing prize, you could say. Okay, so again, that's why I believe in this. So moving on. Oops, sorry. Okay, so moving on. 10B. Okay, let's see if I like any of these triple zeros. I got one in the red, the blue, and the light blue. But I kind of like this one right here with all these hits in a row. It just doesn't happen very often, as you can see. So I'm going to go with this purple and say that that's going to have a 0 to it. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 1929. Okay, so there's nothing there, and the 9 I think is gone. So the 37, 63, and the 69 are all gone. Okay, so moving on. Okay, I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority will be on this side. Kind of liking this light blue. See if I have anything left. I got the 27, 25, 33. Then the 47, 51, 61. Hey, there's the 47. Okay, so I'm thinking I like the 47 here. Okay. And I'm going to move on to the overview. And again, I'm looking for a 03 that hasn't come up in a while. You can see how they're pretty close to the top here in the red, the blue, the green, the turquoise. You know, all pretty close to the top. This purple one is lagging behind, and sometimes, you know, they do the flip-flop thing like right here. So I'm thinking the purple. I'll take a look at the purple. Okay, well, I don't really see anything that I like, so I'm going to move on to 10C. Okay, so I'm looking for a 000. Here in the light blue, again, you know, these 000s double up every once in a while. Like right here, you can see it came up 4 times in a row. I'm thinking this orange is going to have a hit to it. The 44, 46, 55, 56, 62, 64. Do I have any of those left? No, I don't believe so. So I'll get rid of the light blue. The 7, 17, 49, 57, 67. And the 23, 33. So I'll get rid of the 23. And again, hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so moving on. thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority will be over here. Okay, so for some reason I really don't like this one. So I'm going to move on. Okay, so a 000 opportunity. I get the purple, yellow, turquoise, pink, and light blue. Triple zero is way down here on the yellow. I think it's due to come up, so I'm going to go with the yellow. And I get rid of the 1 through the 4 and the 15, 16, 17. So I get rid of the 15. And hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so I'm down to 8. See what we have for the overview. Okay, unfortunately not too much help. Okay, so I'm all done with I exhausted all my game cards here, so I'm going to move on to the next best one, okay, where this one has at least one number, okay, the Powerball number 2 has at least one number at the top. Okay, so I'm going to go right to the group 10, my best odds, and I'm going to look at the 000s, see what I have for options. I'll have the blue, orange, purple, yellow, turquoise, and light blue. And I kind of like this yellow. So 17, 25, 26, 33. Okay, so I didn't see anything. So I'll move on. Triple zeros way down here on the orange. Kind of liking that. I think I'll go with the orange. Okay, the 8, 16, 23, 26. Okay, nothing there. Moving on. Okay, so a 000 opportunity. The red, green, purple, yellow, pink, brown. I think I'll go with this brown. I think I'll go with this brown one here. Hopefully it will double up. Okay, the 17 to the 34. Oh, there goes that 47. I kind of like the 47. I'm going to change that. I think I'll go with the red instead. And I'll get rid of that 22. Okay, so I'm down to 7 numbers. I need to get down to 5. Okay, so moving on. I want to see what the overview is. Okay, I really don't see anything too great. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the 8s. Okay, group 8A. This is where I have 3 option cards with a 8 count here, 8 group. Again, the 000 comes up a lot, and the triple hit comes up a lot. Okay, so I'm not really seeing anything that I like, so I'm going to move on. Same with this one for now. Okay, I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I think the majority will be over here. Okay, so don't really see anything. See if I see anything in the overview. Okay, so one thing that's caught my eye here is over here in the red. See a single blue, single, single. What I mean by that is, it hasn't doubled up like right here. All singles, I think it's going to double up, this blue mark. So I'm going to go with all 3 option cards in the red area for a miss. Okay, so I'll start with number 1, and I'll get rid of the 3 to the 29 and the 41 to the 68. So I'll get rid of that 41. Now I'm down to 6 numbers. I need to get down to 5. Okay, so the 18 to the 22 and the 57 to the 60. And there we go. That will bring me down to 5 numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go with the 5, the 10, the 14, the 36, and the 47. Okay, so let's go check out a Powerball number. Okay, so I do have something for that as well. Okay, so the Powerball number that just came up was the 14. Okay, so how this works, there's 26 red Powerball numbers. Okay, so over here on this side, I just divided them into 2. Okay, so if you see a blue number, that's low, 1 to 13. If you see a red number, that's high, 14 and 26. Over here on this side, the right side, I divided it into odds and evens. So if you see a red number, that's odds. If you see a black one, that's evens. Okay, so looking at this, I see high, low, low. I see a bunch more lows than highs here, so I'm going to think that this is going to be high, which means I think the numbers will fall between 14 and 26. And over here, I think that this is going to be even number. Okay, so I'm just going to look at the numbers of 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and 26. Okay, so I'm probably going to go with the oldest one. Okay, so what's the one that's the oldest between 14 and 26? Well, there's the 14, 18, There's the 24, the 16, the 26. Okay, there's the 22. So I think the only one that's left is the 20. And here it is right here. Okay, so 20 is the oldest. Hopefully it's due to come up. I'm going to predict that I'm going to be running at 20 right here. Okay, so I'm going to go with the 5, 10, 14, 36, 47. I'm sorry, the 5, 10, 14, 36, and 47, with the Powerball number being the 20. Okay, so we'll see how we do. Okay, see how I do. And I'm going to finish things up here. Okay, so I think Sherlock Holmes said it the best when he said it's a matter of deduction. So if, and that's a big word here, if these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's look at the odds. The odds of getting all 5 white ball numbers and the red ball to win the grand prize, which is up to 202 million. The odds of winning it are 1 in 292 million. Okay, so my game is pretty much geared up for the white ball numbers. Okay, so just to get the 5 white ball numbers, which you'll win $1 million, and with the power play you'll win $2 million. Okay, so that $2 million prize is there every single drawing. Okay, now the odds of getting all 5 white balls correct are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay, so in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. So another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and a red ball. That pays $50,000 plus the power play if you play it. And you can see the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so I like to play responsibly. I have a budget. Okay, I spend $3 per drawing. There's 3 drawings per week. There's 52 weeks in the year. If I play every drawing for the year, it will cost me $468. Okay, so moving on to in closing, I'd like to thank you for watching. And if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Okay, and again, if you'd like to support my channel, you can go to the patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Okay, and as always, with $202 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.